What's going on, Raider Nation? This is David Irving. I'm just going to get right into it. All right. So, first of all, this guy, he's definitely going to be a good rotational interior rusher. I really like this move from him right here. Gets like kind of almost like a Euro step. He's a little high, but you see him kind of gather his weight down far enough so where he can drive forward and finish. That's probably my favorite interior pass rush rep from him. He has a big box score game here. And some of it is kind of inflated. Like you see here, just no one blocks him. I think it's a product of scheme more than anything that he was doing. There's another one right here where at first blush it kind of looks like, oh my gosh, look at this guy. He's awesome power, right? But when you look at it and you like really slow it down, first of all, like he's too high right here to really generate that kind of power. And then when you check it out, it actually was the center that tripped the guard right there. So some of his stats can be misleading, I would say. So forget about that, Raider Nation. He does have, when he puts it all together, he does have the ability to have some power as an interior rusher, whatever. Like he's lined up real wide here, and then he rushes over the guard. His pad level is down. His head is underneath that guard's head, and when he puts that these kind of reps together, he can generate power in the pocket. Right. Let's see. Here's another example though. The pad level is too high. Okay, he's a big guy. He's like 6'7", right? When the pad level gets too high, okay, you're not going to see him win consistently. And that's something that's a bit of an inconsistency in his game right now. This is one of the best pass rush reps from him. He's got a little swipe where he gets that hand off of him, and then he's got that bend to turn the corner and then affect the quarterback, chase him down. So we could watch that one more time just in all its glory. So he's got some good pass rush ability when his technique is good, right? But there's other times where I feel like he's struggling to put and string moves together. Okay, and this is one of those examples. But let's move on to how he's used and what he looks like when he's stunting, and meaning he's going from one gap to another gap. Okay, so pardon the glitch there. So this is an example here where he has a TE stunt, meaning he needs to go and replace the defensive end, and the defensive end is going to come inside, right? And if we look at this, this is a pretty infuriating rep, I would say, because like he's so close, he could be whispering in Alex Smith's ear right here. This is back from 2017, and he's just not finishing that rep. And I think that when he is stunting, meaning he's changing gaps, I think he has a hard time finding the quarterback. And this is another example of that happening. They got a three-man game going on here, so he's going from B gap to B gap. He has the longest run here, and he really needs to know, okay, this is a long developing stunt. I just need to get my eyes on the quarterback, have vision on the quarterback so I can bat that ball down. And he's losing him, okay? Now, when he does have vision on the quarterback, when he is able to keep his eyes on the passer, I think he affects the passer, okay? He's so big, he's so tall, that's got to be something that if he does this effectively, if he improves and consistently gets vision on the quarterback when he's stunting, he could be a guy who's batting down a lot of passes. But I saw enough from his tape where it looked like he was losing the quarterback, not focusing on it. This is another example of a stunt. This is a blitz. So he knows, okay, the quarterback's getting the ball out quick, right? So I got to get my hands up, right? And here's another example from 2018. He only played 2 games in 2018, and I thought that his tape looked. He did not look quite as good rushing the passer in 2018. I'll just say that. So we see 2018. He's again got these same kind of issues where he's having a hard time finding the quarterback. Not visioning the quarterback when he's stunting. Kind of looks like he's running in sand right here. Not a super explosive. I would say not the same David Irving that we saw in 2017. Okay, so this one really irks me here too a little bit, I would say. So he's got an he's got to rush off the tackle, and we see him. He has so much space here between the tackle. All right, when he really needs to be coming right off this tackle's butt, and this tackle should be beat. He should be dead to rights right here, right? But he recovers because David Irving took such a wide path around him, right? So I think that his ability to stunt so far, not a lot of technique, okay? But something I can really heap praise on this guy David Irving. You can't discount his hustle. All right, I would say most of his sacks are hustle sacks. When the quarterback's holding on to the ball for a long time, and he's stringing together 1, 2, 3 little attempts to get past the guard before the quarterback breaks the pocket. And I don't think that he's like a great athlete, but he's got long legs, and when he starts striding, he's going to make up ground on, the pocket passers of the world. And I think, just there's enough examples on tape, and basically in every game that I watched, that the effort is really there for David Irving. So, it's an impressive part of his game, his motor, especially when he's rushing the passer. How he's constantly affecting the quarterback, even if he's not stringing together moves, even if he's not, like winning quickly on the interior. I still think he has the hustle to make an impact, kind of how we see Max Crosby make an impact, even when he's, initially does not win. He keeps on, he keeps on attacking, he keeps on rushing, and he's able to make a play and affect the quarterback. And I really think that's a lot of what David Irving's production was over the course of 2017 and, the 2 games in 2018. And again, there's some like question marks about, his character and the decisions that he makes or whatever it is. He's suspended for drugs. The Raiders don't take this guy if this is not a part of his game. It's obvious. You don't hustle like that unless you love football, right? So I think that's a big reason, obviously, the Marinelli connection, too. Now, the run, this guy, I'm not really sold on him against the run. He probably is not going to be a guy who should be called on to be a run defender. This is an example where he's got his pad level down. And when he does things like this consistently, I think he could be a beast to stop and a beast to block. I mean, he's a huge, talented guy. And so he's able to split that double team right there. Again, the pad level is right. This is another example where the pad level worked out. He's visioning, finding that finding that running back, and he's making an impact play. But I poured through 6 games. These are like the only 2 legit run plays that I could see him make. The majority of the time, I'm watching him getting blown up, getting pushed around. You see here, pad level way too high. His head is above the guard's head, right? And you see him here try to hop and lower his weight to try to anchor. But you can't try that in the middle of the rep. You got to start there. You got to have low pad level so you're not getting shoved around. And that's again something constantly I'm seeing on his tape. He's getting pushed around. This is a really ugly rep from him. He's playing one technique, and they got zone to the left side here. Now just watch how everyone else on the line, they see the zone step. They react to the zone step, right? This is something that if you watch my Maurice Hurst breakdown, you saw him doing consistently. That's why he was a good run player. Now watch David Irving against the run. He's just going straight into that guard, which makes that center, which makes that center's life a lot easier when he's trying to reach him and takes him for a ride, right? So again, he probably shouldn't be asked to play much, if any, in run situations. I don't want to beat a dead horse here, but he's definitely just a pass rush, an interior pass rusher at this point, I would say. Okay. All right. So I got a couple questions here. Do you think by week 8 him and Hurst are starters? All right, FTC Nate. So I would say I wouldn't say starter. I think he's a rotational guy, and right now he's not even activated off the practice squad, right? So once it gets activated eventually, maybe if he's activated off the practice squad, we're talking about a guy who's missed 2 years of football at this point, right? Hasn't played a full season, I don't know, ever. A full NFL season ever, I don't know. So just, forget the box score, forget, he has incredible talent. He's definitely a very, very, very talented individual, but he hasn't played football in a long time, so just temper your expectations. So I'll just finish with my last thoughts here. Forget the box score stats. He's not a guy who wins quick. I think he was a guy who benefited from the way that they played defense in Dallas, which was constantly penetrating and rushing the passer on most downs. This is like a Rod Marinelli thing, okay? And when they're having to double all these other guys, DeMarcus Lawrence, right? They're having to double Malik Collins when he was playing well in Dallas. I think he was benefiting from a little bit of, he was beating guys one-on-one. And there was some scheme things that I was noticing where he was kind of getting free sacks almost. Okay, so I don't want to, disparage the man, but I think that his box score stats are a little inflated. So don't look at that and think when or if he ever does start for the Raiders that he's like an automatic, sack every other game kind of guy. That's all I'll say about that. But I do think he's definitely a guy worth taking a shot on. He's a guy that obviously Rod Marinelli knows, so he's going to be, familiar with the way that Rod Marinelli is coaching things in practice. So I think that's a good thing. That's a plus. And if he does get everything figured out, this is really an immense talent. So it's a low risk, high reward proposition for the Raiders. But again, don't get your hopes up thinking that this guy's going to come in and play like gangbusters in year one. Someone said, Free Mr. Clark said, I think he lets Farrell play on the edge more. That's big. Okay, yeah. That's a good point. And I think with Nassib being hurt, Farrell will probably need to play on the edge a little bit more. So I like that. That's a good observation right there. All right. That's it, guys. Tate Don't Lie podcast. Follow us on YouTube, Apple, Spotify. We out.